Hello, pretties, and welcome to Viv Cereal. My name is Vivi, and I'm very glad that you're here today because I just went to watch Birds of Prey yesterday, which is the Harley Quinn movie, essentially, and it was good, and I want to talk about it. I personally love superhero movies a lot, and especially DC villains. They're my favorite. The way I say it in my mind is that Marvel has really good heroes and DC has really good villains. Not to say they don't have good heroes, but they're just, in my mind, outshined by their villains. DC villains are by far the best, and Harley is one of my favorite. Harley, the Joker, I think they make such a good pair, and I'm glad to see them break up. I know that doesn't sound great, but in the comics, currently, they are broken up. And I like that. Harley's in a good place just because you're kind of seeing her trying to find herself in the comics, and it's kind of the same thing in the movie. She's trying to find herself a little bit differently because I know in the comics, Harley's kind of trying to take care of some people of her own. She's made some friends and she's just really trying to take care of them. In this, they kind of do that a little bit, but like not really. She doesn't care about them. I mean, she does, but like not enough to make that effort. But at the same time, does make an effort with one individual. Spoiler alert right now, even though I kind of already spoiled it a little bit. But spoiler alert. I like the fact that Harley decides to take on the kid, as she called her, under her wing, and they're having a good time. And I'm really glad to find out that they did not kill the hyena, because I don't know why I really like the hyena. Harley decided to adopt a hyena since her breakup with the Joker. And I think it's funny how it's like she says it's mutual, but the way they make it, like she says it's mutual, but they show you a different story. Like it was not a mutual breakup. And she's trying to find herself, okay? Essentially the movie's about her. She announces to all Gotham that she's single and ready to mingle by essentially blowing up the chemical plant where her and the Joker created their relationship from. And yeah, now everyone's after Harley because she's kind of a bitch and she's wronged a lot of people. And it's really funny because I think like there's like little tallies at the bottom where it tells you like, this is what I did wrong to this person, this is what I did wrong to that person, this is what I did wrong to this person. There's just a lot of that, and I think it's really cool. It has some like cartoon aspects to it, and I think it's interesting the way they tell you the story, because there's definitely some like you go forward, you go back, you go forward, you go back, and it's like what's going on? But then you're like, wait, the story is being told from Harley's perspective, and Harley's mind is kind of back and forth all the time, hence why she's crazy, so it wouldn't be just one, straight line, like timeline, which is fine. I was okay with it. It was a little confusing at first, and then after a while I'm like, you know what, no, this is part of the movie that gives us that charismatic points, and I liked it. It was good. My hair's looking crazy. You're supposed to tell me when that happens. That's all right. So yeah, I like that. I think it was funny how there was this one part in the movie where Harley like goes back in time and it's like, let me tell you guys from the beginning, and then instead of saying like a day or 2 days or a week ago or something, it says 4 minutes ago. And I just thought that was so funny. This movie was honestly really funny. It had me laughing out loud. The one thing that I will say though is that it didn't feel like a superhero movie. And essentially these people are, supers. They have powers. Harley, it has enhanced strength, but that does not mean super strength. She has enhanced strength. She has enhanced agility and enhanced durability, which makes her really good in hand-to-hand combat, and they really show off that in the movie. But like there wasn't really any other like superpowers. There was just one time that one of the girls showed off her superpowers. That's it. Just that one time. Yeah, so it didn't really feel like a superhero movie in that sense. To me, it felt more like, it wasn't a heist, but it had that heist feel to it a little bit. So there was that to it, and they kind of like at the end, once they were able to like, you know, get away with it, they were like, you know, laughing about it. So it had that like heist feeling, the same way like the like Ocean's 11 gives me, or some of the Fast and Furious movies even. So there is that. Comedy was there, the acting was there. Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie is essentially, and to me, she's Harley Quinn. I can't think of anybody else that could play her, and she absolutely embodies that role, and I love it. She's so funny and so charismatic, and she's so pretty. She kind of looks like a hot damn mess in this movie because she's like trying to figure her shit out, and that's okay, it really is. She did a good job, and I really liked her, and she had really good chemistry with the kid mostly, and it was so funny. They had a lot of funny scenes in between each other that were really good. I didn't care for the villain in this movie, the Black Mask. I feel like he was trying a little too hard. He was trying a little too hard to seem crazy, and it's like, no, you know, like, no, because like, I just feel like you can't out crazy Harley, and he was really trying to. Yeah, I just feel like he was trying way too hard. It was overdone. He didn't have to. It took a little bit away from the movie because I was just like, why is he doing that? Like, he doesn't have to do all that. Why is he doing that? So I will say that I didn't love the main villain. He was okay. The action sequences were really good. The fighting scenes were really fun. I do think we have to mention the Joker aspect of it. Even though he was never in the movie, they did mention him a lot. But I feel like anytime a girl breaks up with somebody, that's all she talks about until it's completely out of her system and she's ready to move on. And so I feel like at the beginning of this, she was talking about it a lot, and then towards the end of the movie, she stopped talking about it as much, and then by the end of the movie, it's like she's ready to move on. You know, she's turning in a new leaf, and she's the new Harley Quinn, and I like that. I will say that they made Harley less of a villain and more of an anti-hero, which she kind of is. Even in the comics, she kind of is an anti-hero at times, and she is kind of a villain at other times. So I could see that. She definitely plays well with an ensemble. She's really done really well in ensemble. It's not a standalone movie by any means, but I liked it. I think this video was kind of all over the place. There was just some things I needed to get out of my system. So yeah, I liked it. I recommend it. I will say though, my one negative point for this movie was that it did seem like it was a little bit dragged on, and I don't know that they needed to do that. Like it just felt a little long. Like they maybe could have shortened it a couple places, and it would have been just as good. So, but whatever. I'm not a director. I don't know how that works, you know. But it just felt a little longer than it had to be. So that's that. Take it or leave it as you will. I enjoyed the movie. If they come out with another Harley Quinn movie, absolutely I will watch it because she's one of my favorite. She's just one of my favorite, like her and Catwoman. I love them so much. They both have that villain anti-hero kind of thing to it. They definitely have their good side to them, but they do have their bad side, and they're both a little insane, and I love that. Actually, let me throw in Poison Ivy in that mix. Those three can make magic. But that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and let me know if you ended up watching, Birds of Prey, and if you did, let me know what you think. I hope you liked it as much as I did. And yeah, have a good day. Bye guys.